How's it going, lads? This is a game that never came over to America, but if you're watching this channel, you've probably heard of it because it's pretty famous.
Yeah, Terranigma is a fantastic game. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite Super Nintendo game, but it is up there.
So it's part of the trilogy. What do they call it? The Squeenix trilogy?
The developer was called Quintet.
Quintet.
Yeah, Quintet made like ActRaiser 1 and 2, and then Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, this game. And then another game that everyone forgets that they made is a game called Robo Trek.
Okay, yeah.
That came out in 1994. This one came out like end of 1995 in Japan, and for some reason got localized to Europe in like December of '96, which is just crazy for the Super Nintendo.
Although games came out later than that in America, so it's very interesting that they...
I was looking it up a bit, and it seems like I was getting conflicting information because it seems like there was an Enix of America branch that I think closed down for a little while, so that's why it never got like ported in America.
Okay.
But then you look up like games like Dragon Warrior 7, which came out like 2000 or 2001 for the PS1, and that was still under regular Enix. So they still were localizing games. I don't know if they were just not doing it for a couple of years or what, but I didn't really look that far up.
So on this channel, I've already, a couple years ago now, did Soul Blazer, which is the first in the Quintet trilogy. The second's Illusion of Gaia, which also came out in America and is definitely the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier. I thought about doing an Illusion of Gaia LP at some point, but honestly, the game just, it's not that interesting. Like for an LP, it would be very boring to watch.
Yeah, Illusion of Gaia.
Like, it's fine. It's a fine game. It's like a
B.
B. It's like a B if you put it on a scale, but it's not interesting. And we try to at least do stuff that's interesting to watch.
I would even say that Soul Blazer might... Soul Blazer is definitely better than Illusion of Gaia, but if Spencer didn't love that game as much as he does, LP in that game might have been a little annoying.
Yeah. I mean, half of that was me just, like, talking about it the whole time.
But yeah, as far as I know, Spencer's, like, not familiar with this game at all.
I know of it, and
Quintet.
The one thing I do know is that the story is really crazy, and that there is a big either twist or a big, like, how do you put it? Like, big crazy ending or something. That's all I know. I don't know what it is. Because,
No.
like...
I was trying to backspace.
Rip! Do you want me to...
Yeah, sure, go.
So, like I said, I do know that, like, I watch SNES Drunk a lot, and, like, he, like, did, like, a spoiler-free thing, and he was like, you want to play this game, and the story's crazy, and it does this crazy thing at the end that'll make you, like, crying, essentially.
Yeah,
and I'm
this
like,
game,
okay.
even as it naturally goes, it feels wildly different for, like, so many different reasons. Can I, like, not? Oh, okay, there we go. I just had to start putting in a name, or otherwise it's automatically arc. Of course, we're gonna reach out.
Absolutely. Alright, oh, by the way, guess what's in there?
Yeah.
I bought AAA batteries, folks, so we actually have a remote. I still think it's funny. I'm always like, Ferris, what happened to those batteries? Well, I didn't do anything. I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see this game.
So this game has a pretty typical beginning. I've been having these strange dreams.
Wow, so not a silent protagonist. I'm pretty sure... I know that Soul Blazer's protagonist is silent, and I think Illusion of Gaia's is silent as well.
There's not a whole ton of dialogue in this game in general, but yeah, Ark does speak. And he has sort of human emotions. Like, you know what I mean, that protagonists in these games usually don't care about anything, but he gets frustrated and says things that are very human occasionally.
You ruined all the weavings.
I'm sorry. So it's just pretty much given the context that he lives in a little village. He's kind of a troublemaker. Very secluded village. You can look around. There's no exit to this place. Very,
based.
Yeah, it's very.
I wanna live there.
Very otherworldly. There's this thing called Crystal Blue going on that is very pretty, but also some of the villagers are kind of wary of it, of you going blind looking at it. What is it, Jod?
That's cool.
Well...
This is a real surprise.
I don't know if that was an honest apology. He just kind of said, my bad for doing that thing.
Oh, also, for what it's worth, we're playing this on a SNES repo cartridge of it, which we actually get in at CIB. We get them all from a company in Canada that makes like all their own cartridges, which I actually prefer. I don't really like using donor carts, even if it is just a copy of Madden. I don't know, I'm just like that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, yeah, it's just a copy of Madden, but you are taking a copy off of, you know, the world forever, because they're not making other, you know, Super Nintendo things. I know it's stupid.
And aren't they... I forget how it works, but aren't some donor cards very specific? Where you need to find, like, certain games?
Yes.
Obviously, like, getting a ROM hack of X2, you're going to have to get a motherboard with that specific chip.
Yeah, I remember especially because there was a website that I used to use that I got, like, Final Fantasy II on from NES, like the NES version, and your donor cards had to be very specific. Like, there was one I specifically remember that was, like, you have to use Mario Brothers 2, and I never knew this until I found it, but there's some Mario Brothers 2 that have all the chips on the bottom, on the actual contacts, and there's some that have, like, chips on the side, and you had to send them one of them, like all the chips one.
Oh, wow.
And I remember going through the CIB copies, and I was like, literally every copy we have is the, you know, not all the chips one. I was like, how rare is this, you know? And at that point, you're using a donor card for that? It's like, ugh, you know.
So we're going into the hidden place that the elder of the village doesn't want you to go into.
Based.
You're pretty much, not bullied, but kind of coerced into opening it, and then they immediately all got scared. No, it still can only be broken.
So the funny thing about that company in Canada that makes the repo carts is... Ooh. These tunes.
Yeah, so this is an interesting character. So basically what you just unlocked is literally called Pandora's Box, so...
Rip.
This is Yomi. He is a wisecracking type of guy. He is overall helpful to you, but as you can kind of tell, Pandora's Box is both a good thing and a bad thing.
Interesting. He has a good song.
So they're gonna quickly show you how Pandora's Box works. So when you push select, you actually come up to this. You don't normally like actually walk through it like here. It's only for this one time, but it's a very interesting inventory system. I like how it's like contextualized. How some JRPG protagonists have just infinite items on them all the time. In this game, they can explain it by being like, "Oh, you have a magic box."
Yeah, so real quick, that company that makes our repo carts, the funny thing about those is that they do two things. They make Super Nintendo repo carts. They used to make NES, but they haven't recently. And they are a vape company. So when you go to their website, it's like, what do you want? Vape liquid or SNES repo carts? And I'm like, just SNES repo carts for me, thanks.
The funny thing is that probably there's some demographics overlap there.
Yeah. Also, the thing that I like about it is you always have to order in Canadian dollars or CAD. I don't know what that means. So I'm always like, oh, I don't know if we can make profit on this. And then it's like, you know, actually it's in Canadian dollars. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Your Magic Monopoly money is worth less than ours.
Yes. It's always nice when that happens. When you buy something from the UK, it used to be way worse, but even now it's like, oh, the pound sucks because it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I think these cost us like 21 Canadian, and I'm like, oh man, but then it's like 17 American, and it's like, sweet. Or it might be like 24 Canadian or whatever, but then it's like, alright, you can have my American money, that's fine. So yeah. That's that. Deal with it. Jod?
So, pretty quickly, things are going down. Us opening Pandora's Box basically broke a seal. And, yeah, the village is about to get screwed. F.
F in chats, lads. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Wait,
so,
and he leaves?
He's always in Pandora's box with you, so
Oh.
he can always pop up whenever he wants. So basically, he's not really like the things that you're doing are not necessarily like you were the cause of it. It's pretty much all destined.
Cool.
Although the elder really makes it seem like it's your fault. It kind of is, but it's just one of those things that it has to happen. Doesn't matter.
Oh my god. 5 towers, huh?
Let's just wait for the elder to go that entire way. Oh, can I open these? Nice.
Ooh, gems. They always use gems as their money thing.
Weirdly, the healing is, they're called bulbs.
Oh, it's better than being potion again.
I guess so.
What?
We can finally leave the village. What awaits us out there? Just in case, there's actually a shop. It's kind of funny, all the villagers are frozen, except the shopkeeper.
Based.
So I just want to get, like, 2 bulbs, just in case. This game is, I'm not going to say that this game is necessarily hard, but it can really catch you off guard with how fast you can die. Wow. So, outside that village is just, like, endless lava rivers and ice.
Jeez, that 3D effect is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on at the top, but, there's a regular world map, so obviously it was intentional.
Hello.
Whoa!
Face on gate. It reminds me of almost like that sword Skillamax or whatever on my RPG. I am the face on gate. I am the sword on keep.
Oh yeah. One thing I always forget is even though you pick up that weapon, you literally have to equip it. And also, you have clothes that are not automatically equipped for some reason. And you can just do everything without it, but you have 3 less defense. So this game feels very nice to play. Your moveset is fairly simple, but very effective. And this game is all full real time, so unlike like Secret of Mana or something like that, there's no like waiting periods. This game just looks and feels great to play. Although there's sometimes when you get like incinerated or put to sleep that you'll be can't move or something like that. But yeah, the first 5 towers are more of a tutorial area, so I'll try to get through these as fast as possible. I just want to get through the beginning area, and then probably call it a part.
You get standard experience when you beat enemies and all that.
And money is also very important in this game. You get a pretty standard flow of it as long as you kill enemies, but especially keeping your bulb stock good and just buying items. Stats, unfortunately, do matter a lot in this game, so you can't really do like a low-level run. You'll just have such little HP, and like your defense will be so low. And especially as it goes on, like the first couple levels, like level 1 to level 2, you only get like +1 on a stat. But as it goes on, you might get like +3 to +5 in a stat. So it's like, it's huge. And I am sucking. Another sort of interesting thing that's sort of easy to ignore in these beginning areas is your Crystal Spear actually regenerates your health like 1 HP every like 5 or 10 seconds. And this is the only area in the game where it does this. I guess they're just kind of being kind. I'm sorry.
Now, when you say 5 towers, are there 5 separate towers, or okay? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you meant that or like 5 floors on the tower.
Yeah. Each tower isn't very long, usually only a couple floors each. They usually explain or kind of guide you through some basic concepts. Like this one is mostly just combat. The second one is like a little bit of problem solving. The third one is like platforming. Then the fourth one's kind of all combined.
Is this necessarily kind of like a long game?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. It's still a JRPG. It's probably as long as Soul Blazer, so
Okay.
it's gonna take a while to go through it. But probably like actual playtime of what we're gonna LP on screen, probably like 6 to 8 hours, maybe 10 hours.
Yeah, it's not so bad then. Yeah, I know some like if we did like Final Fantasy 2 or 3 and like did most of it on screen, it would like not be a thing.
Yes. It's like when we're doing LPs, because we only do them for about 2.5 hours once a week. You really have to pick your battles, which is why we do so little like long form games.
Yep.
I know some people are like they want to
do Last of Us 2 or whatever, and it's like
play Last of Us 2 for 4 months.
I would still be playing Last of Us 2. So, yeah. Although one newer game I could actually play on here is Miles Morales Spider-Man, because it's not very long. I've been playing for like 45 minutes and it's like 10% done. I'm like, this is a game for me.
Dad games.
Dad games. I was thinking about it, I was like, what kind of a monster doesn't watch everything with subtitles on? Because if subtitles didn't exist, I would like literally not be able to enjoy any like movies or games, because I would just like, I don't know, it's like I have to have them on to focus, because you know there's just going to be other stuff going on. Also, the one of the greatest things in video games in the last 20 years is the ability to pause cutscenes.
Yes.
Must have sucked to be like a dad or something back playing MGS2. It's like, you start a cutscene, yo dad, it's like, hold on, I gotta wait for this cutscene. 1 hour later. Ugh, never mind. I'll just start over again.
I don't even know, I mean, it's never gonna happen, I'm never gonna actually have kids. But I don't know if my sanity could take it. I get so annoyed when I get, like, interrupted or, like, my day gets, like, ruined in some way. I don't know if I could, like, mentally take it at all. Let alone year on year on year.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Ha! Ooh.
Yeah, so these are, I don't know, creation rooms. These cutscenes are unfortunately sort of long, like a minute apiece. But they kind of show you what you're doing.
I'm surprised this can be put onto like a standard like repo card, because it seems like it has like another chip for 3D stuff. Like, I don't know, like, you know how Mega Man X3 had a special chip or whatever?
Right. Yeah, no,
I don't know.
It seems like this game mostly just uses, like, Mode 7. I didn't see anything super specific, other than the world map, that top layer looking weird. But I don't know if that's just more Mode 7.
So what's it telling us? We got a piece of land?
I'll show you.
Give me that snow.
Although I think this one, each one is resurrecting a continent, but they also do something else, and this one seems like it implies that, like, Earth itself was resurrected, like the entire planet, which is why I think, like, the silhouette of the Earth showed in the Milky Way, which is interesting. Eurasia was resurrected. I always found it interesting that the Quintet trilogy always focused on like creationism, or just like creation in general. Like Soul Blazer was more about like resurrecting like humanity, or just like, I don't know, like lost civilizations.
Yeah.
Illusion of Gaia, I kind of forget which one that one's about. But this one is like way the most.
And then, of course,
scale one.
ActRaiser, you play as, like, a god bringing stuff back in a SimCity type way. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Illusion of Gaia. I think it's more of, like, a story of, like, friends and stuff like that, and, like, camaraderie. So, at least as far as I got, which is probably like maybe a third through the game.
Yeah. It probably, I mean, it's called Illusion of Gaia. There's probably something about the world or the Earth that happens, but can't say I played that game the whole time. I don't think I ever actually beat it either. Alright, so I actually want to go to the right first. So sometimes when you kill specific enemies, souls will show up, and they'll give you little hints. Pay heed to the statues and the color of the jewels. Thank you, sir. Although this game does have some of that typical early age cryptic nonsense that you have to like know exactly what to do with like no cues at all.
Sweet. What does Magic Rock do?
So you can trade magic rocks with magic shops to get magic rings. I don't use magic a whole ton, but I'll try to show it off. Bam.
Ah, yes. Push that colored statue.
Yeah, you can obviously tell that this game, more than any of the other ones, is very inspired off of Link to the Past or Zelda in general. I think it's very obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something cool earlier when I was at the store. Like, I walked past one of our box SNESs, and on the side it's like, hey, look out for these upcoming games. And one of them, it just says Zelda 3, which, like, that amused me quite a bit.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, so then you can obviously tell it's a pretty early Super Nintendo system, or at least the box.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool. I love stuff like that. There's actually, I forget what it is, but one of the SNESs, one of the boxes has one of those like screenshots for a game that never came out. It's like nothing crazy. It's like some sports game. It's like something something football something something, and it like never came out. I think I saw it on SNES Drunk, but I might be wrong there. But that's still really cool. Where it's just like, hey, watch out for Super Play Action Football, and it's like, it was canceled.
It's such random games that get canceled.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's actually a lot of really good YouTube channels that like just focus on like just that. Oh, cool! Push that random one.
Yeah, they give you sort of an auditory confirmation if you did it right, but you basically push these outward, and it opens this gate up here.
Nice. But yeah, that's like some of my favorite stuff. The just stuff that was canceled over time, you know? Just so cool. You know, you have to fight him this time?
Reminds me of the AVGN Godzilla episode where that SNES tournament fighter got canceled for no reason at all.
Yep. Yep.
Or it still came out in Japan, but I never got localized.
Yeah, I remember my biggest story for that is when the 64 disc drive was supposed to come out. I remember specifically, I was like so against it coming out in America because like I was like really worried that like it would come out and like they wouldn't make N64 games anymore. That they would just do it for the disc drive, and I was like, I was like, we have to wait a whole.
Did you think that when you were like 10?
Yeah. I think that's a thing for a 10-year-old to think.
I was just too young to.
But I remember specifically being like, I was sitting in Nintendo, but I'm like, oh, this better not come out because it's gonna come out and all the games are gonna be DD. We didn't know it was disc drive. It was just what is this N64 DD? I was like, no, and I was like, I'll have to wait till like Christmas to get it, like if we even get it, you know what I mean? And I was like, then they won't make 64 games anymore. I remember being really against it. And then, of course, it never came out in America, so that's pretty dope, all things considered. I guess it came out in Japan.
Man, what even came out for a disc drive? Like, some of those Mario Paint games, I think F-Zero X, like, some expansion came out. Was there literally
Not
anything
much.
else?
Yeah, there might be, like, I'm unfamiliar with stuff. Generally, my knowledge for games is for NTSC. I don't really pay attention to, like, Japan or whatever, but there's not much. I know that. There's not a whole ton. One of my favorite things with Japan is, I learned it on Crontendo. It was like these, like, Famicom things in stores that you could, like, write your own, like, Famicom game. So you would, like, pay whatever, and it would be like, okay, you know, writing this game onto your Famicom disc, you know, and That's just pretty cool. So, like, I don't know if that stuff is like a rarity or whatever, you know, like, you would just pay that, you know, put, I don't know, 100 yen in or whatever, and it'd be like, you want to have Mario on your disc thing, on your Famicom disc thing? It's like, yep.
That is really cool.
It's pretty neat. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I forget, I don't know, like, the full story on it, of course. It's in one of the 60 or so Nintendo episodes. But, yeah, I do remember that being, like, a really neat thing. S-Ball, baby. You have a pretty good amount of those now.
Yeah. You can hold up to 9 of each item, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Just don't like when it's a weird number, like 6 or 7 or 5 or whatever. Rip. Yeah, question of the part. For anyone that's, of course, all of you are still watching. Why wouldn't you be? Question of the part. Let us know below. What is the game that was canceled that had the biggest, I guess impact on your life would be a good way of saying it. You know, something that was, I guess, bad or good? I don't know, if for some reason you were like, I'm very happy that, you know, blah never came out, you know, kind of like me with the disc drive, the N64 disc drive. So let us know below. For me, it'd probably have to be Fatal Frame Inferno for PS2. We eventually did get another Fatal Frame game, but it's not a... Or, I'm sorry, Fear Effect. I'm sorry, my bad, guys. Fear Effect Inferno.
You know, even though you said Fatal Frame, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. So, Fear Effect Inferno. We eventually did get another Fear Effect game, but it's not Fear Effect, so... Whereas the pictures and stuff I saw of Inferno look like just Fear Effect on PS2. That would be cool. And, like, there's other things you could be like, oh, I wish there was another Mario RPG that, like, wasn't Paper Mario, but Mario RPG, or I wish there was another Brave Fencer Musashi. But that's something they were actually making enough to, like, be in game magazines, and that's a shame. So, do you have one, Trev?
Growing up, not specifically. I do wish that Earthbound 64 was made, because that game looked really interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't even know if this was officially ever announced, but I know that they were making some sort of DS Metroid that wasn't Prime Hunters. That was more like, I think it might have been called like Metroid Dread or something like that.
I don't know if I ever heard of that one.
That might be fake. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, obviously.